I'm here with Dr. Carmen Chan, who is chairman of the local organizing committee for the APAO. She's also a specialist in uveitis and neuro-ophthalmology and resides here in Hong Kong. Thank you for coming to the program.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Sure. Now, Carmen, earlier I was talking to some of your colleagues in Hong Kong, and they were noting that actually there are a lot of women ophthalmologists coming up through the ranks in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But I imagine that there still are challenges that remain. Can you speak to some of those challenges of women in ophthalmology?
I think in Hong Kong, we're very fortunate that currently about half of our intake for trainees are female, or even more than half, because women do tend to do quite well academically, so that on their CVs they look good. But the problem is rising through the ranks, because I was talking to Dr. Kathy Green in the Women Ophthalmology Standing Committee. And she asked me, so how many head of departments are female in Hong Kong right at this moment?
Right.
And there are none.
Oh.
So I think it's as Kathy puts it, is a leaky pipeline. So somewhere there are lots of female ophthalmologists starting training, but somehow they do not rise to the top.
That's very interesting. Well, what do you make of that?
I think I don't think there's a lot of gender discrimination. Honestly, I think the main problem is a lot of us are not putting ourselves forward for promotion, because even in this day and age, in Hong Kong, women, if you're married with children, then your primary responsibility is with the family. Everyone expects that the mother will look after the kids. The dads, yes, if you help, that's really good. But if you don't help, that's not a problem. So there are some family expectations, even in this day and age. Yeah.
But you imagine that there are some women that do not have children, and yet having no department heads, there's something going on there, it seems. But perhaps, you mentioned something else, which is kind of putting yourself forward. I've also heard that when it comes to negotiation, men often are able to achieve more than women for certain reasons related to maybe aggressiveness during negotiation or whatever it is. Do you think that, at least in your experience, are there ways to put yourself forward as a woman and therefore somehow rise to those department heads at some point?
I think it can be difficult, because it's true that I hope I'm good at my job, but I don't negotiate well. I do not fight for my rights. If they ask me to do something, I'll do it as well as I can. But if you ask me to fight for something extra, I probably wouldn't. But that's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, nonetheless, in your experience, do you feel contented being an ophthalmologist? Do you feel that even if equality isn't what it should be, that still you benefit from being in this field?
Yeah, I certainly benefit from being in this field. I'm quite happy with where I am.
Yeah.
And I think...
But maybe there's something there that just wish, perhaps even just for all of women, that there could be a step beyond.
But I have two children. They're 8 and 9. So I feel that I actually enjoy spending time with them. But there's only 24 hours a day. So do I really want to advance my career? I think it's up to an individual woman's choice. Right. So do I really want to be head of department? I actually don't want to be head of department. But I know that a lot of feminists will feel that I'm weak in that sense, but I enjoy being with my children.
Well, interestingly, some of your other colleagues who've spoken for the series have made the point that actually women value perhaps balance more than men do. Maybe for this reason, because children are often involved, whether you're dropping kids off to school or having other parts of your life involved with the family, that's a necessity, therefore, to achieve a balance that men, in some ways, maybe don't necessarily value as much because they don't necessarily have to achieve that balance, you know.
It's true, but I have to say, I mean, I managed to do what I do at the moment because I have lots of help.
Yeah.
Because in Hong Kong, we're quite fortunate that we have full-time foreign domestic helpers
Yes.
that can help us.
Yes.
And my husband actually gave up his full-time job so that he can spend more time with the kids.
Sure.
So I think I'm very fortunate to have such a supportive environment and also such a supportive husband as well, because if he was just a normal guy,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't say he's not a normal guy, but as in if he was very aggressive in pursuing his own career, I think it would not have worked. Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, it's very, I feel honorable, you know, that it's honorable for you to say, I don't really, you know, have the ambition to become department chair, because there are a lot of people out there where I suppose ambition just drives them, but isn't there something else besides that makes a valuable ophthalmologist?
Well, I think my aim in life is just to make a difference, because I do uveitis and neuro-ophthalmology, which are not particularly income generating, put it that way.
Yeah.
So, but I think because of that, there are quite a lot of, well, there are not many people who do that compared to like glaucoma, cataract, refractive surgery. So there is still unmet need, and then I think there's lots of room for development, and I have my job satisfaction from there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your honesty and candor on set here.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.